Several prominent Nigerian groups have continued to fault the president's stance on restructuring as expressed in his New Year message. A public affairs analyst, Wale Oshunde, joins us now to share his thoughts on this very issue. Good to have you here on the News Hour.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So before now we had Dr. David Awurawa, and he gave us, his own perspective on this. Now, would you go with the same view with some Nigerians saying that the president should have done much more in discussing the restructuring debate?
Absolutely. I mean, we've been in town for donkey years talking about the fact that we need to move forward. We need to actually shift from this, should I say, base where we continue to say that we are comfortable with what we are witnessing right now. I think we need to really take the bull by the horn. We should do that needful thing that we should all support. And then I think that we should really move away from this ideology of not wanting to talk. I think it's unfortunate.
All right, and then, of course, constitutionally, and as pointed out by the president, that if anything is to happen, then it has to happen at the National Assembly level. And, of course, knowing what happened during the amendment process and during the discussion about devolution of powers, we know how that got a terrible blow at the National Assembly. So, are you more disappointed in the president saying that it is not a priority, or the National Assembly, when push came to shove, somehow they did not deliver? The
truth is, I'm disappointed in everyone. I mean, all politicians who are actually in one position of authority or the other should be blamed for what we are witnessing now, because it is actually the constitutional duty of each and every one of them to ensure that we all breathe this fresh air that we're yearning for. And that's just the truth. I mean, if the national, you see, there is no work or magic that can happen without that synergy between the presidency, that is the executive, and the legislature. And that's the National Assembly. And so if they see that the president is even willing to do that which is needful, I am very sure that the legislature would be interested in, cooperating with him. But what we are witnessing, that New Year message, whoever wrote that speech was actually, that was really unintelligent of such a speechwriter. Because the truth is that, with all due respect, the truth is that the president did not talk about the salient points. People have been talking about different perspectives to this, call for restructuring and all this and all that. And then all that we get to is that we've tasted parliamentary system. Nigerians are not patient enough and what have you. So must we continue to be patient till we are dead?
So what do you expect the president to do at this point?
Take the bull by the horn. I've been talking about the fact that there was even a confab report, 2014 confab report. We have not done anything to that document. We only done this somewhere, and then we are still talking about fresh calls again, fresh agitations, here and there. Look at every sector of the country, look at every segment of the economy, and we're not progressing. We're not doing anything. And people are saying we need to really do something to ensure that we move forward.
Talking about the 2014 confab report, I recall that the Senate asked the executive to submit the recommendations to it for perusal. So nothing has been heard about that. Even the Senate is not talking about it anymore.
That's exactly the point. And that was why I said that I am blaming everybody who is in power, who has that constitutional ability to do something but has not done it. And exactly the point. You see, even if the executive is not forwarding it as an executive bill, then members of the National Assembly have that right to present it as a private member bill. It's a very simple thing. Sponsor these bills. There are recommendations. Push them forward by way of private member bills and what have you, and then try to meet with your colleagues and all that in the best interest of the common people of Nigeria. But that is exactly what they are not doing. So and you expect people to keep quiet and be happy, and then we are fine and we say Happy New Year to ourselves. I don't think it works in sync.
So what other options are available now? If you say you don't believe, or you blame the politicians in power for allowing these things to be pushed aside, what other options are available now to ensure that we truly get what we desire as Nigerians?
We have no other option other than to revisit this issue, other than for the president and other politicians in our land to come together as a people and then ensure that the primary aim, that ruminates over their minds day and night is what would be in the best interest of Nigerians, what would make us move forward as a people, what would bring food to the table of the common man, what will make life better for all of us. Because let me tell you something, 2018 is actually a very major year for political activities in this country. And then before you know it now, all these clarion calls for restructuring, for this, for that, would actually be shoved aside. They will return to the field, they start campaigning, they start telling people that they should vote for them and whatever, and then they start making promises again. And then right now, what I am witnessing, and I think a lot of people are, are actually sharing my opinion right now, is that it is now a change of promise and not a promise of change anymore.
And well, some analysts, and even we had one yesterday, saying that in fact the presidential speech was more of a presidential campaign, kind of a subtle way of saying that put me in again in 2019. Thank you very much for your analysis at this time. Wale Oshunde, you're a public affairs analyst. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.